What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another short episode with me, Zuhair Alam. Today I'm going to be walking you guys through how to basically build up your shoulders, build up a little bit of definition. So the shoulders is a very complex part of your body, which entails a lot of different parts of the muscle itself. So a lot of times people have the idea in mind that you can just do presses and pushing motions and that'll build up your shoulders, which isn't true a lot of the times. And a lot of people also experience a lot of fatigue and pain and injuries in those areas because it's so sensitive. So I'll walk you guys through a few of the workouts that I do, that I've been implementing into my day-to-day shoulder routines throughout the last couple years. That's definitely helped me out, not only for my shoulders, but for the rest of my body parts. So stay tuned and I hope you guys enjoy it. First workout that I'm going to get into is shoulder press. So you've probably seen this in many different variations. So whether it be using machine, dumbbells, or barbell, I don't really have a preference, to be honest. I like to switch it up week to week. So today we'll go ahead and do the dumbbells. So you can either do this at the same time, and another thing that I like doing every couple of weeks is doing isolated, so one arm at a time. This really helps you utilize your core and use as much shoulder power as possible. So we'll get into that right now. And then as far as rep schemes go, for my compound movements, for any muscle group, I like to stick to usually 6 to 8 if I'm looking to build a little bit of strength. But again, I like to switch it up every now and then, so maybe 10 to 12. But those are the two kind of rep schemes I usually stick to for my shoulder press. So let's get into it. So one thing I like to keep in mind when I'm doing the shoulder press is as I'm coming down, I try not to come below 90 degrees. So basically your elbows should be parallel in a straight line. So I guess the best recommendation I could give for that is try to, if your gym does have it, do it in front of a mirror so that way you can keep yourself accountable while you're doing the workouts. And again, control your tempo. Try to keep it pretty steady throughout the workout. So I want to show you guys another one of my favorite shoulder press movements. So as you can see, I was doing it opposite of what the directions on the picture on the machine might tell you. The reason why I like to throw this into the mix is because, again, this kind of helps you utilize a lot of your core as well. Try to keep your lower back and your back in general straight throughout the workout. That's one thing to keep in mind during the duration of this exercise. But this also utilizes the front of your delts as well, so you kind of knock out two areas of your shoulders with one workout. For this, I like to stay a little bit lower in weight and higher in rep scheme, but honestly do whatever is more comfortable for you. But yeah, I like to stick to either the 6 to 8, 8 to 10, or 10 to 12 rep scheme for this exercise in general. All right, so now getting into the accessories. So I like to do raises, both lateral and front raises. Well, I call them front raises. I know there's different names for it. So the lateral raises will help you hit a little bit of your traps and the side of your delts, and the front raises help you hit completely that front part of that deltoid muscle. So you could do this. So you could do the lateral raises with cables or dumbbells. Again, I don't really have a preference for either one. It's really what you're comfortable with, but I like to switch it up. So today we're getting into the seated dumbbell lateral raises. You can do this both seated and standing. For me, it hasn't really made that much of a difference, but just switch it up, honestly. Just experiment with it, see what works best for you. So one thing to keep in mind for the raises, whether you're doing front raises or lateral raises, is well, at least what I like to do is, again, as I'm coming up, I don't like going past 90 degrees. This can cause a lot of injury, and it's really unnecessary movement and energy that you're wasting. So come down, just keep your arms straight throughout the duration of the exercise, but as you're coming up, just think of your arms as being in a straight line. And again, looking at yourself in the mirror while you're doing this exercise definitely helps out a lot. So the workout that I'm about to get into right now is the face pull. So I usually only do this with the cable rope that you'll find in most gyms. So the thing to keep in mind for this is, so what I like to do actually while I'm doing this workout is I pretend that the metal part of the rope is going to hit my nose or my forehead. This really helps me keep the angle at which I'm pulling the rope steady throughout my workout. So I don't really care too much about the front stretch. It's more of how far and how long you hold the stretch while you're bringing it back. This exercise is going to target a lot of your traps. So it's a really good alternative if you don't like shrugs, if you don't like dumbbell work for your traps. I would definitely recommend trying this out. And for this, as with most of my accessory workouts, I like to keep it higher reps. So maybe like 12 to 15 reps for 3 to 4 sets. All right, so this next workout is the upright row. So you can do this with dumbbells, a straight bar, even a barbell actually if it's not too heavy, and a cable straight bar. So today I will get into the cable straight bar. So again, the key with this is as you're coming up, finish at where your shoulder blades are at a 90-degree angle. So like in a complete straight line. Again, for the stretch down doesn't really matter as much. It's really the motion as you're coming up. So I'd really recommend keeping the weight low, making sure you're controlling your lower back and your upper back throughout the workout, and really just focusing on that retraction. And one thing I like to do during this workout is resetting after each workout. So make sure your shoulder blades basically are back in a resting position at the start of each rep. This will really help you focus on that tempo and control that tempo as you're going rep to rep. So another great workout for the trap and rear delt area is a rear delt fly. So the way I like to do this is I keep so you're gonna be bent over for most of this workout. So pretend you have 2 big water bottles in your hands, right? And you're trying to empty it out. So you're gonna have to go a little bit lighter with the dumbbells for this workout. So again, with this, I keep the reps high and the weight low. This really just helps me make sure I'm doing the motion of it correctly. As you're coming up, the end of your dumbbell closest to your hands should be facing the ground. So that should be the finishing motion as you're completely up. And for this, your arms are gonna be bent throughout the workout. So I mean, you could try keeping your arms straight, but it might be a little difficult. A lot of this is focusing on the stretch in your traps as you're coming up. So think of it as your shoulder blades are folding as you're coming up, and this should really help you out. And for extra difficulty, hold it at the top for an extra squeeze, maybe for 1 or 2 seconds for each rep. And again, for this, also reset after each workout, or after each rep. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that little shoulder tutorial of a few of my workouts. Obviously, it's not everything that I do. So I'm not gonna lie, my shoulder days are pretty, not light, but a lot shorter than the rest of my workout days, just because I am focusing completely on the different areas of the shoulders. So not to say I'm not putting more emphasis on it, it's just, for me, I wanna avoid injury as much as possible just because I've seen people injure several different areas of the shoulders, so I like to take extra precaution when it comes to it. And again, it takes a lot of extra practice and time to kind of understand how your body reacts to certain workouts. So I would really focus on the little things I was talking about as far as the motions, the ending motions, you know, how your arms should be workout to workout, tempo, rep schemes. I think those things are really key when it comes to any of your workouts, but especially during your shoulder days. But Really focus on figuring out how your body reacts to higher rep schemes, lower rep schemes, and then be humble with the weight. Don't just, like, for example, for the shoulder presses, don't just jump into heavy ass weight just because you're able to. I would focus more on your form, more on your tempo, and progressively move up, and that should definitely help you out. So again, I really appreciate you guys tuning back in. I'm looking forward to dropping more content like this soon to help you guys out in the areas that you might be struggling in. And if you have any ideas, obviously shoot me a DM on Instagram, shoot me a message on YouTube, or drop a comment down below. And as always, like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon.